Get off my fucking TV and save me the misery. And all you fucking goons, just grab a cold beer. The man of the hour is finally here. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. It's me sweating my fucking balls off, man. Holy shit. I don't know how you guys in Florida do it, man. I'm fucking dying over here. Jesus Christ. But anyway, you guys know the deal. This is the number one fucking podcast in your subscription box. Right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script. Episode 126, part number 3. For your Sunday, July 17th, 2016, man. We're winding down the hot and humid weekend, and hopefully it gets cooler because I don't know how much more I can deal with this, man. I have literally no energy. Being on top of the humidity, I'm sick, so you put both of those things together, man, I got no fucking energy, man. I'm a lazy sack of shit. I don't know what to do, but I'm getting Off the Script done. I've been absolutely thrilled with the content that I've been delivering you guys this weekend. First with the Roman Reigns rant, and AJ Styles rant, and Finn Balor rant on Friday, and then we had the Brock Lesnar rant on Saturday. So if you guys missed any of that, links are down below. There will be a part 4 to this very podcast this weekend, so make sure you guys check your sub boxes. Hopefully it'll be there. On Monday morning at 11 a.m., Off the Script, we'll have a part 4 this weekend because I am overloaded on news, and I want to get the news out to you guys. So there you have it. Thank you for your continued support of my best friend, Sean. If you guys don't know what's going on, he is documenting his weight loss all through the remainder of the summer. His goal is to lose over 100 pounds. Each and every day he's going to be vlogging, and he's going to be showing you his diet and his regimen and his progress through this arduous task. So I ask you guys to show him some support, give him all the motivation that he could use, man. And that's what we've been doing all weekend. He's nearing 1,000 subs, and I can't ask anything better of you guys, man. This podcast and what you guys mean to me and the community that we have assembled on this channel, you guys are fucking unbelievable. Thank you to each and every one of you for going out there and supporting my best friend, man. And I like some of the comments that I see, man. If you're a friend of JD, you are a friend of mine. That is fucking awesome, man. Thank you guys so much for that. I will post a link to his latest video in the description. If you like what you see, you know, hit the thumbs up on the video, leave him a nice, motivational, positive comment, and subscribe to the channel. I mean, he loves Dragon Ball Z. He's going to be doing beer reviews, but the main thing is he's going to be documenting his weight loss. So if you guys are interested in that, or if you're going through a similar struggle, man, you know, you guys can battle this together and get motivation and just feel good about each other, you know, and feel good about what you're doing, you know, by feeding off the energy that each one of you guys have, man. You know, Sean's got a ton of energy. He's excited about all this, and he's fucking incredibly gracious for all the loving comments that have been sent his way, man. So if you love what you see over there, please go and support him. He could certainly use all the support right now as he does this through the remainder of the summer. Barbershop window. If you guys want to get this beauty, man, I got it delivered today. I'm not wearing it on the show. There you go, man. Get off my TV. Roman Reigns, Off the Script. If you guys want your own t-shirt, man, you guys can go to barbershopwindow.com. You can listen, or not listen, you can look for the official partners tab, and right there you're going to see Off the Script. You can get any one of those shirts, however many you desire, man. Version 1, 2, and 3 of Get Off My TV. You got the Big Show, you got the 4 Goons, and then you got that one, Roman Reigns. Version 4 coming soon. You got the Goon City t-shirt and the original gray Off the Script logo t-shirt. $19.99. They do ship internationally all over the world. Make sure you guys go get yours today. Link is down in the description. If you guys missed Off the Script parts 1 and 2, plus my NXT TakeOver Back to Brooklyn comparison video that I posted the other day, everything you guys need that I did content-wise for the week is listed down below, and I'm going to put an annotation for easy access for you guys right on the screen in the video. And Twitter and YouTube, man. JD from NY206, and on and on YouTube. I'm so fucking tired, man. And YouTube, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I don't know what the fuck you are waiting for, bro. So there you got it, man. Thank you so much. And as always, patreon.com. If you guys want to pledge and support the podcast, you can very well do so. That's patreon.com/JD from NY 206. Now, let's get into the news, man. This is a big story which I don't see many people reporting. It could be completely fabricated. I really don't know. But with the draft coming up on Tuesday and Shane McMahon going to announce his Raw, his SmackDown general manager on Monday Night Raw, Stone Cold Steve Austin could become the general manager of Monday Night Raw. On this past week's edition of Monday Night Raw, Vince McMahon made the decision that Shane McMahon will be the commissioner of SmackDown Live, while Stephanie McMahon is in charge of Monday Night Raw. It was also revealed that both Shane and Stephanie would be choosing a general manager for their respective brands. Now, I kind of let the cat out of the bag because WWE let the cat out of the bag before anybody else, right after Monday Night Raw. They accidentally leaked who could possibly be the general manager for SmackDown Live, and I made a video on that. I'm going to post a link in the video right now with an annotation. Obviously, it's going to be down below in the description as well if you missed it. Or if you don't want to watch it and be surprised, you can do so as well. You can do that as well. But Daniel Bryan, I just spoiled it for everybody. I just spoiled it for everybody. Daniel Bryan is probably going to be named the general manager of SmackDown, which I enjoy because I stated that SmackDown is going to be the wrestling-heavy show when compared to Monday Night Raw. It really is. And there's no better candidate for that than Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan, man, he's happy to be back. You can see him gleaming with fucking personality, and you can sense his happiness while he was sitting next to Mauro Ranallo during the Cruiserweight Classic, which I also reviewed. And it was just great seeing him and hearing him, and, you know, that passion will never die within Daniel Bryan. So Daniel Bryan being the SmackDown general manager, that could very well end up being an excellent choice for Shane McMahon. However, mum's the word for who Stephanie is going to be selecting for her general manager. There is obviously a lot of speculation, and the rumor mill has made a list of the top 3 choices. A recent article by Bleacher Report, please take this with massive grains of salt, Edge, Mick Foley, Sting, and Stone Cold Steve Austin have emerged as the top choices for this role. Of those 4, the top 2 choices are Austin and Foley, since they're the ones who have the most experience. If WWE is considering either of these 2 men, it would be interesting since Stephanie is meant to be a heel. The dynamic would be interesting since they'd be working with Triple H and Stephanie on a weekly basis. Either of those men could do the job, but WWE could be headed in any number of directions. We just have to wait and see for Monday Night Raw to find out. Now, as far as these top choices go, Edge could very well be a choice because he had the Edge and Christian show that totally reeked of awesomeness, which was fucking great. But I don't know if that's coming back for a second season. Edge said himself it might be a one and done. They might get 1 season out of that, and that's it. But he would be willing to come back if WWE gives him a writing team and a production team. Because Edge said the production and the writing for that show was hellacious. They pretty much did it all themselves. And they had to learn things previously that they had no experience in. So Edge and Christian, right now, we don't know if they're coming back for Season 2. So Edge might be towards the end of this group here. It's still a possibility. Mick Foley, always a possibility. He's got a show coming on the WWE Network. He was hosting a podcast with Shane McMahon. He could very well be back on WWE television. He seems to be doing fine for himself. You know, WWE is using him for things here and there. He could very well be back on WWE television. Sting, the last time we seen Sting was the WWE Hall of Fame WrestleMania weekend. Pretty much said this is not the last you're going to see of him. You know, but I don't know what's going on with Sting. He could definitely be an enforcer role for Monday Night Raw. He could be that leadership role, or he could fit into that leadership role. He could be a commissioner or general manager. A general manager is what they're naming it. I don't know why they just, you know, didn't keep it the way it was. COO, commissioner. Commissioner sounds old school, though. I kind of like it. You know, I like the word commissioner. We haven't used that word in quite some time on WWE television. General manager, Sting. I could definitely see Sting as a general manager. But we don't know. We don't know what happened to Sting. We haven't heard any word on Sting at all coming out of WrestleMania weekend. He's probably enjoying his retirement out in California, Venice Beach, laying on a fucking beach in the sand with a nice cold beverage, enjoying life after WWE. So, Sting could definitely be a choice. Now, Stone Cold Steve Austin is the most interesting choice because Stone Cold has always said himself that he would not come back unless the role was absolutely perfect. And if he comes back, you know, obviously he wants to make a nice earning doing what he's doing. I don't see Stone Cold Steve Austin being this choice. I really do not. Because that means Stone Cold Steve Austin at least has to be on TV 2 to 3 times a week, okay, leading into pay-per-views. He's gonna play a role on television, and I don't know if he wants to do that. Now, he's downgraded himself and said, listen, I'm not getting back in the ring. I just had, you know, whatever surgery. I think he blew out his knee or something like that at WrestleMania in that little skit with the League of Nations. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but he said he had surgery due to something that happened in the ring during that segment. I don't know if it happened during a stunner. I don't know. But Stone Cold Steve Austin has said frequently that he would not be back in the ring in a wrestling capacity, that he is done. So I don't know if Stone Cold Steve Austin would even take a general manager role that keeps him on television at least 3 Mondays out of the month. I don't know. I don't know. He wouldn't be traveling with the brand. He wouldn't be going to house shows. You know, he'd probably have to make an occasional appearance on a pay-per-view. I don't know. I really don't know. This is all speculative garbage right now. So it's going to be interesting to see who Stephanie McMahon chooses. All in all, after all this is said and read, the one thing I do not want is Triple H. I do not want Triple H to be chosen by Stephanie McMahon, simply being that he is married to her, and it's going to go right back to the Authority. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that whatsoever. That would be a fucking nail in the coffin for Monday Night Raw, because I know for a fact, coming out of the draft, they are not going to be equipped for 3 hours unless they do something that is so out of the box and surprises us all, like giving us a fucking Cruiserweight Championship on Monday Night Raw. I don't know. Like I said, that would be the nail in the coffin of Monday Night Raw. We cannot have that. We cannot have that. Like I said, or like I was saying before I was texted, Joe texted me, apparently we're supposed to have a Skype call today. It's Saturday afternoon. We're supposed to have a Skype call with Brian Zane of Wrestling with Regret. We're going to talk about WrestleMania. That's what the text message was about. But I'll keep you guys posted on that, by the way. But as far as Monday Night Raw goes, they got to do something so out of the box to make sure that Monday Night Raw does not suffer during this draft or after the draft. Triple H is not going to help causes. Nobody wants to see the Authority back on television. So as far as the general manager goes for Monday Night Raw, we honestly don't know or have any idea what's going to happen, and I like it that way. It needs to be something or someone we haven't seen on television in quite some time. It's got to be a surprise, whether it's a Bischoff or an Austin or an Edge, someone like that we haven't seen. I think that's going to benefit Monday Night Raw. That would be a nice shot of adrenaline for Monday Night Raw. But as far as Stone Cold Steve Austin goes, I don't think he is going to be the general manager at all of Monday Night Raw, because I just don't think he wants to be on television 3 to 4 times a month. I just don't believe it. So we're going to have to wait and see. Monday Night Raw is going to be very, very newsworthy. You're going to have the general managers being announced, and then the WWE Championship match with Rollins and Ambrose. Going to be a big night on Monday Night Raw leading into the draft on SmackDown Live, July 19th. Eric Bischoff, apparently, according to rumors, will not be returning as the general manager of Monday Night Raw. Former general manager Eric Bischoff has caused quite a lot of stir over social media this past week by teasing that he would be one of the general managers announced on this coming Monday's Raw, but it appears that he won't be appearing on WWE television anytime soon. According to Cage Side Seats, Bischoff won't be returning to the WWE draft and said that he isn't coming back to WWE as a general manager for either brand. Now that Bischoff's name is out of the SmackDown general manager rumor mill, the focus has been shifted to Daniel Bryan, which apparently, like I just said, was already leaked thanks to a fuck-up on WWE.com's part. And he is expected to be named the GM of WWE's Tuesday show, SmackDown Live, this coming Monday. Even though it looks like Bischoff won't be returning to WWE anytime soon, he did express interest in returning to the company during his appearance on this week's Ross Report podcast, saying that if he did get a call from WWE and they asked him to do something, he'd accept regardless of what the offer was. maybe that is a little tease. Maybe they did contact him, and maybe he did accept a general manager position. I know if I was running Monday Night Raw, even as a fan, if I was to have one choice as a fan to have as a general manager for Monday Night Raw, it would be Eric Bischoff. He says, and I quote, "I miss being involved in wrestling tremendously. If WWE called me tomorrow and said, get on a plane tomorrow by noon, I wouldn't even ask them what I'm doing. I would be happy to do it." It's been over 10 years since we last saw Bischoff on WWE television, but WWE hasn't involved him in quite a bit of programming on their network as of late. Or has involved him in quite a bit of programming on their network as of late. Last year, Bischoff sat down with Bradshaw in a one-on-one interview that covered his entire wrestling career. Then just a short time later, WWE produced a top 10 list where Bischoff counted down his most controversial moments. WWE also recently released a documentary DVD covering the former WCW president's career. Bischoff was one of the original general managers when WWE did their first brand split back in 2002, which could come back around, and he could be named the general manager again for their second draft, their second big draft, as he ended up being the GM of Raw for almost 4 years. He was extremely successful in that position, and there's no doubt that he would again want to be there if they did call him and he was put back in the same position. As previously mentioned, it does look like Shane McMahon will select Daniel Bryan as the general manager of SmackDown, but Stephanie McMahon's selection remains a mystery. Most people are assuming that she'll pick Triple H, who hasn't been on WWE television since WrestleMania 32, and there's a feeling that Triple H being the GM of Raw wouldn't bring much interest to the show at all, because WWE has had him and Stephanie in charge of the show for a better half of the last 3 years. This coming Monday show will be interesting because we'll likely see the return of Daniel Bryan, who hasn't been on WWE television since he retired on February 8th, and we could see the return of Triple H. One thing for sure is we won't be seeing Bischoff on the show. I would not count that out completely. Could Bischoff return to WWE in the future? Yes, as always. We already know that he is interested in doing so. However, he did mention during the Ross Report that he's not interested in working a full-time wrestling schedule, so that limits him to just being an on-screen authority figure. And if WWE isn't planning on bringing him back as one of the GMs, there really is no other role for him. Bischoff was a great commentator in the AWA and in WCW, but because of his age, 61, WWE probably isn't looking at bringing him in as a commentator. During his conversation with Ross, he mentioned that he misses working with the younger talent, so maybe they could bring him in to do something with NXT, but it doesn't look like we'll be seeing him as an on-screen authority role anytime soon. I would not count this out at all. Bischoff, to me, even though he has been stating on the Ross Report that he would love to come back to the WWE, and he says he misses being involved in wrestling, and they have been promoting him and his DVDs on the WWE Network. I believe there's another DVD coming out very soon, if not already out, on Eric Bischoff. He could certainly be a choice, because Vince McMahon even stated himself that he wants bloodshed. He wants fucking competitive aspects and nature to Raw and SmackDown. And there's no better man to do that than Eric Bischoff. There's no one more cutthroat as an on-air personality and as an on-air authority figure than Eric Bischoff. He would be perfect for this role. I hope that he's in the running. I hope that all of this is just smoke and mirrors, and I hope that we see Eric Bischoff on Monday. If not, like I said, I have no idea. It needs to be someone that hasn't been on television at all lately. It needs to be a nice surprise and not someone that we're familiar with seeing, okay? So that's my thoughts and opinions on that. Eric Bischoff, 50-50 chance right now of being on Monday Night Raw. Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Sasha Banks and a mystery partner set for Battleground. WWE has been building the tension between Charlotte and Sasha slowly since the latter returned to WWE programming a few weeks ago. When Battleground came out, or when Battleground came around, everyone knew that the powers that be would probably push the actual match between the boss and the champ to SummerSlam because it deserves a bigger stage. Yes, it does. However, WWE has pulled a very interesting curveball, which could be a major moment for the women's division because the match is set for Battleground, but it isn't what you would expect. During this week's SmackDown tapings, it was announced that the current women's champion Charlotte will team with Dana Brooke against Sasha Banks and a mystery partner of her choosing. Although there are many possibilities, there is only one name that most of us are thinking about. Battleground would be the perfect time to debut Bayley to the main roster and help the boss in her quest or conquest to become the champion. Bayley will most likely have to pull double duty in NXT and WWE, but many others have done it before her, and it has worked to perfection. WWE may also have something else planned aside from Bayley. She is just the most obvious choice. When it came to Bayley, it was initially believed that she would debut sometime after WWE NXT Brooklyn, which isn't until the end of August. The name is actually Back to Brooklyn NXT TakeOver. The reason for this was because WWE felt that Bayley being there would be a distraction for Banks and Charlotte's rivalry. WWE put a lot into them working together, and having the fans care more about Bayley more than these two women would certainly suck for the creative team. WWE may have her appear earlier so they know she will not interfere with the Banks-Charlotte rivalry, which, if she is on another brand, and due to the draft, we clearly will know where most will land, including Banks and Charlotte. Meanwhile, it is undetermined which brand Bayley will end up on if she works Battleground. It very well could be that she only makes a one-off appearance and then comes back after SummerSlam, but that is unknown as of now. What does seem to be pretty obvious is that Bayley will be the mystery partner. The puzzling thing for fans, though, is the fact that WWE is doing yet another tag team match with the women and not a WWE Women's title match with Charlotte and Sasha Banks. Battleground is already loaded with tag team matches, and another isn't a good plan. That said, fans won't care if Bayley... the fans won't care about it if Bayley appears. So that will not be something that will, agitate the fans. It will not bother them to see another tag team match with the women, because if Bayley is there, it's pretty much going to go out the window. They're just going to enjoy Bayley teaming with Sasha and getting a victory over Charlotte and Dana Brooke. But one thing I do want to mention here is I don't want it to be Bayley, because there are rumors going around that WWE is really not putting so much into Battleground. It's pretty much an what-if show, It's pretty one of them fucking shrug-of-the-shoulders shows. It's going to be big because we have the triple threat match with The Shield, which is one of the reasons why I didn't want this match to happen until SummerSlam. And this mystery partner thing, if WWE is not going to use this pay-per-view for anything big, and they're going to use it as a blueprint for what happens in the weeks leading up to SummerSlam, then there's no reason to debut Bayley. Everybody's talking about Bayley, but there's one name that, is rumored to be coming back, and she's been getting tests, and she's been out with injury forever, is Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella was a women's champion. Nikki Bella had beef with Charlotte. She could fit right in. She could fit right in and team with Banks and get some type of revenge on Charlotte, and then Sasha can build to her women's championship match with Charlotte to SummerSlam, and then Nikki could sit in the background and maybe kind of join the fold of women trying to vie for that women's championship. I don't know. So Nikki certainly could be an option here for WWE if Bayley does not work out. I don't want to see Bayley debut on Battleground. I don't. Because I think she is worth more than that. I don't want to see her debut in the draft. I don't want to see her be drafted. I want Bayley to show up on Monday Night Raw following SummerSlam. Bayley, Sasha stare down in Brooklyn where their first match took place. Unbelievable. Over the WWE Women's Championship. That is the best way to go about it. And I think that would be fantastic. That's just me, though, but keep in mind, Nikki Bella could be a mystery partner for Sasha Banks. She doesn't have to work that often. She can sit there or stand there on the apron and hold the tag rope, and she can just do what she's got to do. She don't got to be in that much of a physical nature in the match. She can let Sasha do most of the work. She can come out and just be a partner and be back in action, be back on the card, and then the weeks following she can continue to get better, and then when she's fully cleared to wrestle, Nikki, like I said, can throw her hat into the Women's Championship picture and pretty much go after the Women's Championship like she wanted to upon leaving before this surgery. So keep that in mind. So Bayley or Nikki Bella, definitely the top two choices in my opinion about teaming with Sasha Banks. And I'm going to end it right here, guys, because I don't want to go over everything that I have. I want to save some for tomorrow. Triple H lowballing WWE superstars on new deals could lead to more releases. There have been a fair share of problems behind the scenes in WWE this summer as far as it goes with talent relations. Several WWE superstars have had or will have their contracts expiring this summer. However, there are believed to be a lot more, and now there are rumblings of some serious issues happening behind the scenes during contract negotiations with Triple H. Specifically, According to a report from DWN, DailyWrestlingNews.com, there are some mid-card to lower-card WWE superstars that are getting lowballed on their guaranteed money or are not being offered any contract at all. The belief is that this is specifically due to the way Triple H is running the show. Obviously, all decisions are still going through Vince McMahon, but there is a massive overhaul happening on the WWE roster. The expectation is that this will lead to more releases over the next few months, and the reason is to free a lot more space on the main roster for NXT talents to debut before SummerSlam in August, obviously all for the WWE draft. Some of the talent involved in this situation are keeping things quiet right now to avoid any backlash from the company, but we will learn a lot more once they are no longer employed by WWE and they start speaking out. There are various names that WWE could let go of, including Ryback, who has been a thorn in the side of the company for a little while now. He was apparently offered a lower deal than he wanted to resign, as he felt he was worth more. He went out on social media and spoke about the ordeal, with some people siding with him, like the recently released Cameron. Who gives a shit? The fuck does she have to say about anything, Cameron? WWE has yet to cut him, as they would like to keep him. He has not been used in quite some time and is almost throwing a CM Punk-like tantrum. He recently underwent surgery, but he could have been used a good deal before that, and either he or WWE refused to do anything about it. He could be on the upcoming cut list, but the issue for WWE is that they don't want to release too many people due to the upcoming brand split. With Triple H offering lesser deals, some talent could take him up on the offer. Usually when these offers are given, it is WWE's way of saying that they respect you and your ability enough to give you a deal, but not enough to pay you well. So you may want to go somewhere else. All of this being said, WWE has already started to use talent a bit more. People like Zack Ryder have managed to stand out in recent weeks. For example, this is WWE pushing talent they believe in for the new generation, while the low ball offers are given to those that are in the company that the company believes are in the past. It will be interesting to see what happens with talent soon, especially heading into the WWE draft next week. Listen, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. All I can say from what I read here is this. WWE has made it apparent that they want to go out and sign veteran talent. Kurt Angle is one of them. John Morrison is another. Okay, Johnny Mundo. You know, Carlito. They might bring back guys like Shelton Benjamin and Rob Van Dam and Mr. Kennedy and guys like that. Okay, they want veterans to place on each roster for Raw and SmackDown to kind of get the younger talent over. On top of that, the guys in NXT that are being promoted, they're going to get a pay raise. With a promotion comes a pay raise. So those guys are going to be making more money as well. The dead weight that WWE does not use, WWE is going to get rid of them or offer them low ball deals to just keep them around. If you're not happy with it, you can go somewhere else. But WWE is trying to do what is best for them with this situation. They are going to pretty much hone and groom what they have built in NXT and pay those guys more, because the guys coming up from NXT, Balor and American Alpha, Samoa Joe, Nakamura, guys like that, if they're being promoted to Monday Night Raw, they are getting a hefty pay raise. You know, guys like Ryback and the fucking guys that they don't use, the Shining Losers, those guys will be low ball deals, and if you like it, cool, stay, help out the younger talent, help the company, we appreciate you. If not, you don't have to sign, you can walk and go. Wait your 90 days, and then you can go show up in Ring of Honor, TNA, Lucha Underground, wherever the fuck you want to go. So that's pretty much it. It's WWE handling and keeping their company in mind, their best interest in mind, because they are building from within. The people that we don't see that are on the roster that aren't used, that mainly stick to superstars and main event, they haven't been doing anything. Why are they going to be making more money? You know? So WWE, this is WWE's way of like, okay, we'll offer you something just out of the generosity of our hearts, and if not, you could go somewhere else. So that's pretty much it, man. I don't disagree with Triple H on that. Build from within, keep within happy. The guys that you really haven't used, you know, it's gracious of them to offer something to them. If not, give them the reason or give them the option to walk and go find work elsewhere and potentially make more money. You know, don't treat them with disrespect. Don't treat your workers with disrespect. But Triple H lowballing WWE superstars pretty much has to do everything revolving around WWE bringing in veteran talent for the draft and bringing up NXT talent for the draft. It all has to do with the draft. So this is just another problem that's going to be spiraling downward with the WWE draft. More will be known about this later on as the draft happens and we get the roster set. It's going to be a very interesting week, man. It's going to be a very, very busy week right here on my channel. And that is Off the Script, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you guys are thinking down below of all the top stories in Part 3. Remember, Part 4 will be Monday at 11 a.m. Make sure you guys tune into that. Check out all the other videos. Check out all my links, Patreon, Barbershop Window, my buddy's YouTube, my best friend Sean's YouTube. Go check him out. WrestleCrate, Twitter. You guys know the deal, man. I'm not going to repeat myself. Thank you so much for watching Off the Script this weekend. I'll be back on Monday with Part 4. Until then, enjoy your Sundays. And I'll see you right back here on Monday morning at 11 a.m. I'll talk to you later.